Hi folks, this is Charles and welcome back to my series exploring online gaming communities from the lenses of community management, game design, and society. This week we'll be exploring online gaming communities from a bit of a different angle this time. This week we'll be exploring the attention economy. Kevin Kelly, senior maverick at Wired Magazine, wrote a piece in 2008 titled Better Than Free. In it, he discusses the idea that digital culture creates items which can be copied and distributed for no cost. In superabundance, things become free or worthless, and there's no more scarcity. But how could you make people pay for something that's worthless? As such, he outlines 8 qualities which give value to copies, which he describes as generatives. Generatives, as Kelly defines them, are qualities or attributes which must be generated, grown, cultivated, or nurtured, which cannot be copied, cloned, faked, replicated, counterfeited, or reproduced. They can be generated uniquely, in place, over time, and add value to free copies and therefore make a copyable item something one can sell. As I reviewed these qualities, they would be eerily prescient to our current day in 2021. The 8 generatives better than free that he describes them are immediacy, personalization, interpretation, authenticity, accessibility, embodiment, patronage, and findability. We will show the full description of each generative, but choose to emphasize the key aspect of each generative. Let's start with immediacy. Immediacy. Sooner or later, you can find a free copy of whatever you want, but getting a copy delivered to your inbox the moment it is released, or even better, produced, by its creators is a generative asset. Ring that notification bell, set a reminder for the premiere, pay for premiere access, line up at the GameStop for the midnight release. Even if it's free, the fact that you can get it right now rather than later is something people are willing to pay for. When it comes to online communities like streamers, you can see who's streaming right now. On Discord or messaging platforms, you can also see who's available with status lights. On social media, your feed will always have something to show you. And within a given community of a certain size, you will always find people on at any time of day, no matter where you are in the world. You can't always hang out with friends when you're on break or off the late shift from work, but online gaming communities can always be there for you, now, wherever and whenever you want. Personalization. A generic version of a concert recording may be free, but if you want a copy that has been tweaked to sound perfect in your particular living room, as if it were performed in your room, you may be willing to pay a lot. Personalization is like paying a premium for a custom-tailored suit, when one size does not fit all. When we watch passive media, they don't respond to us in real time. Online communities, however, can offer personalized responses, responding to your statements in real time and offer their personality, insight, and acknowledgement of your presence. Personalization can extend to shoutouts and videos to Patreon supporters, or messages from OnlyFans creators, which did go up in usage during pandemic, cough cough. Additionally, having live streamers respond in real time may address concerns of passive content consumption. Passive content consumption tends to only offer us more of what we and others like us engaged with, rather than try to show us something different. Just because we had a bunch of it before doesn't mean we want to keep having more. Interpretation. As the old joke goes, software free, the manual $10,000. Having access to tons of data can be nice, but it might only be the first step. At times, the work of actually being able to understand and explain it might even be more valuable. In a landscape with so many things going on, people want a clear and concise explanation for lots of things in our world. It's really a shame we don't emphasize education as much as we should. However, if the interpreter's motives or reliability is put into question, then whom do you trust? Maybe interpretation before we had media would be from friends and family. If someone on TV says so, how can we trust them? But if a reliable friend, family member, or community member both knows us well and knows how to explain things to us, maybe we trust them more. Authenticity. You might be able to grab a key software application for free, but even if you don't need a manual, you might like to be sure it is bug-free, reliable, and warranted. You'll pay for authenticity. This is partly talking about how fakes and pirated copies are inferior products. However, there is something eerie to be said about the explosion in digital verification technologies now. Stonks. Maybe more relevant with people, authenticity is in short demand. Now online, it's given that media outlets are not trustworthy. But part of the parasocial appeal of streamers is their perceived authenticity towards us. Individuals and their performance on YouTube have become brands, while appearing like a friend. Parasocial relationships via live streaming go further by hijacking our brains for all the social cues of friendships. Intimate conversations, inside jokes, disclosing personal information, seemingly face-to-face communication, even one-on-one DMs with influencers on certain platforms. Sometimes I'll have to remind myself for a split second that a streamer doesn't know me and I don't know them. So it all makes sense when we have to remind each other of boundaries. Accessibility. Ownership often sucks. You have to keep your things tidy, up to date, and in the case of digital material, backed up. In this mobile world, you have to carry it along with you. Many people, me included, will be happy to have others tend to our possessions by subscribing to them. In essence, ownership is overrated. Nowadays, we're willing to trade ownership for the convenience of downloading or streaming it from the cloud. That's true whether it's our iTunes library, RIP, favorite YouTube videos, streaming subscriptions, Steam libraries, or Xbox Game Pass. And nowadays, cloud computing solutions for gaming are rolling out via xCloud and Stadia. Imagine, no more small talk and pretending you like boring stories. You can spend all your time talking only about the topics you're interested in, all your favorite hobbies, all your favorite interests, all similar beliefs, all similar ideas, all day and all night. And if you don't like them, just block them, ghost them, or slowly back away to another community. Embodiment. At its core, the digital copy is without a body. Even with all this digital stuff, before pandemic seemed people were craving live concerts, books, physical copies, escape rooms, pinball, arcade, merchandise, to have excuses to have real things and to go into the real world. People want to feel and touch and taste things in the real world, because virtual reality, augmented reality, just ain't reality. It just doesn't beat the real deal. But for all the digital content, nothing can replace real people. For live streaming, there's always the real-time live performance. Online communities in general also allow room for gradual connections and online friendships, and potential real-world meetups. These can lead to deeper connections, but at its worst, be cringy or even dangerous. Patronage. It is my belief that audiences want to pay creators. Fans like to reward artists, musicians, authors, and the like with tokens of their appreciation because it allows them to connect. The expectations for paying for a service make you demand getting enough value, but supporting a cause can feel good because you like supporting good things. Supporting developers, supporting a community, supporting the streamer, supporting a good cause. Kevin Kelly's belief would turn out to be correct for the most part. It feels good to give to a streamer, especially when you get to see the reaction when you give them your support. However, it does get more complicated when they obfuscate how much of a cut goes towards platforms and payment processors. Findability. When there are millions of books, millions of songs, millions of films, millions of applications, millions of everything requesting our attention, and most of it free, being found is valuable. People are willing to follow, subscribe, even pay for finding the good stuff. Discoverability is one of the toughest issues right now. Dating apps like OkCupid and Tinder allow users to pay to be found by more prospective matches. That's matchmaking for you. Back in the day, having your family find someone to match you with was a reasonable idea. Some people are even willing to go back to that, considering how troublesome dating is in general. Likewise, people are turning towards their friends, family, and community members to help them parse through the dearth of content in this world. Knowing people with shared experiences, interests, cultures, backgrounds, or beliefs can be a shortcut to help us find the good stuff in life. Kelly also mentions one thing that cuts through all rings of generatives: that advertising was considered an answer for the generatives, but couldn't be the only one. Naturally, we're seeing that emerge now for online communities as well. Brand Twitter has caught up with sassy community management jokes. Sonic the Hedgehog, anybody? And also ads for baddie games have struck a chord with the TikTok audience as well. Kelly concludes that digital content would become freer and more based around giving, shared, personalized, and authentic ecosystems of digital ownership, no longer tethered to physical ownership. However, what happened since 2008 was that these shared ecosystems became privatized and centralized under the ownership of entities who prioritized engagement. As a result, we're getting all of our brains hijacked by algorithmic pink slime. Additionally, core to this question of what online communities offer in terms of generatives is what people have to offer over digital content. I did want to just say that people cannot be replaced by content, but as time goes on, the line between humans and content is becoming increasingly blurred. Both content consumers and content creators are finding themselves engaging and creating pink slime content based on what drives the most engagement. But, after a certain point, aren't people themselves becoming the pink slime as well? And, if all we're doing is engaging, are we growing? After making this video, I realized the goal of this list of generatives was just going the minimum step above copyable to be something that you could sell. But just being something you could sell is value neutral. Taking the next step of being something that doesn't care about profits or algorithms, and being something truly authentic, generous, and respectful of others' humanity and our own, that's truly priceless. Hopefully, we can take the next steps to do so as individuals, in our communities, and soon enough, in our society as well. Stay strong, stay soft, and I'll see you next time. Kevin Kelly is Senior Maverick at Wired Magazine. He helped launch Wired in 1993 and served as its executive editor until January 1999. He is currently editor and publisher of the popular Technium, Cool Tools, TrueFilm, and Street Use websites. He is the author of Out of Control. This video was made by me. I'm Charles, a game designer, narrative designer, and event organizer, with an interest in community, connection, and content creation. I'm currently graduating with my master's from NYU. Stonks, stonks, stonks. Stonks, stonks, stonks. Stonks, stonks, stonks. Stonks, 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 stonks. Stonks, stonks, stonks. Alright.